Hey YouTube, how's it going? Royce here, back with another day of card reveals. Spoiler season is back, baby, and I am so excited. And as you can see from the screen behind me, we know what's coming in this reveal. That's right, it's Galio. So again, I'm still a little bit confused. I thought we were looking to expect a Freljord Bandle City champion, so does that mean that Gnar is going to be from there? I'm not really sure. I'm not sure if we were expecting something from Demacia. I don't keep up with that stuff super well. So I'm going to get right into this video, or this article, probably a video in just a second. But before I do that, I want to clarify something from the last video that I put up, which was the unleashing of the Formidable keyword. When I put out that video, I didn't know what Formidable meant, and no one really knew what Formidable meant, but it turned out some people had a pretty good guess. And about 30 minutes after that video went live, Riot revealed what Formidable did, so I went ahead and updated that video in the description and in the comments with what it actually means, and with a quick overview of my assessment of each card after knowing what Formidable does. I don't anticipate us having a similar issue in this video, but I just wanted to let you know for sure that I did that, and in case you watched that video before the keyword was defined, you can go back and get all the information that you missed last time. Alright, let's get right into today's reveals and sit back and enjoy together.
Come on then, let's get to fighting!
Galio, 7 mana, 0/8, so he's an expensive champion, okay. Spell Shield and Formidable, so he's, while attacking, he's a 7 mana, 8/8, okay. When I'm summoned, grant other allies +0/+3. Alright, round end, your allies have 25 plus total health. So this is very reminiscent of Aurelion Sol here. It's an expensive champion with Spell Shield, a chunky stat line that relies on your allies having a high health total instead of a high power total, but this one sort of more directly helps with that by buffing everything by +3 health, and he counts his own health as well, so really you need another, 17 health across your other units, and Galio is going to help with that. Alright, let's see, and it's a Demacia champion. Let's see what the level up is.
Hello?
Yeah, Formidable, I strike with my health instead of my power, so notably that also works for cards like Concerted Strike, Single Combat, Cataclysm, Strafing Strike, things like that.
Oh, my large
We saw Broadwing yesterday.
Smash him to bits!
Okay, so it doesn't visibly actually change their power. That's interesting.
Come out and play!
Well, that's scary.
Looks like fun.
Wait, what was that? Like a 2 mana grant +0/+3 card? Oh, 3 mana, grant an ally +0/+3. At the next round start, grant it +0/+2. Okay, Shield of Durand. So on its face, this is like a worse Twin Disciplines, right? Because Twin Disciplines can also buff your power. Sorry about that. Twin Disciplines can also buff your power. It's 1 more mana, right? But this is also going to buff you again at round start, right?
Looks like...
Oh, they don't really give you much time there. There we go. Grant an ally +0/+3 at the next round start. Grant it +0/+2. Okay, so 3 mana for 5 health. This could be compared to Astral Protection in Targon, which is 4 mana for 4 healing and 4 health. How does this compare to the other options that Demacia already has? Well, compared to Sharpsight, compared to Sharpsight, this is more health. I think that Shield of Durand might be the best option for Formidable units, but I don't see it being very splashable. I think even a 3 mana +5 health is a little bit low impact, even as a grant, because grant doesn't matter as much when it's for health than when it's for power, because if you just give something health, it's kind of effectively a grant because you save it from dying, and at the end of the round, its health doesn't actually go down, right? But notably, Shield of Durand can be used either offensively or defensively, and if you use it offensively, it's kind of like a 3 mana grant +3/+3 in a way, because that's how Formidable units work. They're going to strike with their health, and their health is also going to make them hardier. So I can see this in a Formidable deck, but probably not much outside of it right now.
It's like fun. Right.
Okay. Mountain Drake. Is that new? It is. What was I doing? Alright, Mountain Drake. 5 mana, 0/6. Dragon. Fury and Formidable. Fury grants me +0/+2 instead of +1/+1. Okay. So when it comes down, it's a 5 mana, essentially a 6/6 with Fury. And every time it kills a unit, it's going to get 2 more health and sort of 2 more power. So we've seen these Formidable units being very weak on the defense, right? Wait, no. They strike with their... Oh, no, that's not true. Excuse me. It says they strike with their health, right? Sorry for that misinformation. So it's not just while attacking. We clarified that. I strike with my health instead of my power. Okay, gotcha. So, never mind. That's a major weakness of this deck that's kind of not existing anymore once I know how this really works. So they're not so weak on the defense.
I sculpt what others only dream of.
Okay, we've seen this one before. Single combat, so they're showing that interaction right there. This is going to go down to like 4 health and then back up to 6. 3 mana, Winds of War, slow spell. Okay. Heal an ally to full. Then that ally and an enemy strike each other. Oh, interesting. So this has direct comparisons to single combat, right? This is 1 more mana, and it's slow speed, but you also get to fully heal the ally. I think healing will be really valuable in this deck. I can see pairings between this deck and Soraka already. I'd really like to try that once these cards are released. Let's see. Of course, it being slow speed takes away a lot of the benefits of single combat. You have to use this proactively. For single combat, you can use that in response to something like a Glimpse Beyond or somebody's own slow speed spell. You can use it in response to a Noxian Fervor, something like that. This doesn't have those use cases. This is sort of more of a slow speed, 3 mana removal that heals something first. I mean, if you've got something big like a Galio that's gotten to pretty low health just from a lot of combat, this could be valuable. Interesting. Yeah.
How long was I out for? I will crush your...
Oh, is this going to be the Galio level here?
Galio.
Yeah, here we go.
I'd like to see you try spooky giant person.
Okay, 7 mana, 0/9. So it's really a 7 mana 9/9, right? With Spell Shield and Formidable. That hasn't really changed, it just got +1/+1 in stats. When I'm summoned, grant other allies +0/+3. None of that has changed. But each round, the first time an ally takes damage, rally. Okay, so I wouldn't say this deck has like a lot of specific synergy with allies taking damage, with the exception of your allies being very hardy, having high health totals, so being able to survive damage. But I don't think they don't need to survive damage in order to rally. They just need to take damage. So even if something dies, at least how this card is worded, then you'll get a rally. And then also, here's something that I'm not too sure of for like Runeterra syntax, Runeterra card formatting. I'm never really sure if an ally includes the card itself, so I'm going to have to familiarize myself with that. But either way, yeah, these rallies are going to be happening every round, even if you have the attack token, right? This actually really encourages you to, I mean, it might not actually force the open attack, but this highly encourages the open attack when you have the attack token, because you want to use your first attack token and get that rally and then be able to further develop into your next one. I think that gets punished pretty highly by something like Vengeance, something like Minimorph, but this also has Spell Shield, so that's not so easy to do. Interesting. Okay. So Galio is a game closer and a board buffer.
I may be made of stone, but I'm all heart.
All right. Goodbye, Draven. Goodbye, Daring Poro. Goodbye, Scion. Okay, Scion returned goes down.
That was fun. So who's next?
And okay, all of the cards. So there's one new card here that I think we haven't seen yet. So we've seen Galio and the leveled Galio. We've seen Galio's Shield of Durand. Well, we didn't know that was the champion spell, but we've seen the Shield of Durand. Okay, given that that's the champion spell, I mean, that's a pretty good champion spell because it synergizes with his level up condition. Even just by himself and with the Shield of Durand, that's already 13 health on the board right there. And then you're probably not playing Galio on an empty board. Here's a new card we haven't seen yet, 9 mana 0/10. Tough and Formidable. So it's effectively a 9 mana 10/10. Tough. Yeah. When I'm summoned, swap my health and your Nexus's health. What? I can't be blocked by enemies with less health than me. So you can make this a 9 mana unblockable 20/20? Hello? But at the cost of 10 of your own life, assuming that you are at 20 Nexus health? Hello? But it doesn't have Spell Shield is the problem. Galio is very impervious to things like I mentioned earlier, Vengeance, Minimorph, stuff like that. So just having a 9 mana play that immediately loses to single target removal and also deals damage to your Nexus sounds pretty sketchy. I don't know about that one. I don't think you need this card, Gorlith the Unscalable. I think this is it's a very interesting effect. I like that they're exploring this design space of swapping a unit's health with your Nexus's health, but this just seems too fragile, too prone to disaster, really. Winds of War, heal an ally to full. Then that ally and an enemy strike each other. I'm not sure if I'm seeing this one, to be honest. So much of the utility of something like single combat comes from its fast speed. And when you look at the play rate of like single combat versus Cataclysm, yes, Cataclysm gets a little bit of play, but being a slow speed spell, even a slow speed spell that can like push through overwhelm damage is a lot worse. And even in decks that run like quick attack champions like Sivir and Akshan and stuff like that, they tend to still favor single combat over Cataclysm in the ratios that they choose. Winds of War might be something you need to run if you're not pairing this with Soraka, but with the Soraka pairing, I think that you don't really need to run this. I think that Soraka's power, astral protection, guiding touch, things like that will probably do, and you can just run single combats instead. So that's my assessment of Winds of War, maybe in a non-Demacia Targon deck, but in Demacia Targon I think it's a little bit overkill and redundant with some of your other healing, and that Targon just does it better. but that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong about this card. Just to make sure I got it, let me quickly go down the gauntlet of each card and say if I think it's good. Galio, of course, is an auto-include in his own deck. He is sturdy, he's powerful, he has Spell Shield, he comes up and buffs an existing board. A little bit underwhelming when he has to come down on his own as a 7-mana 8/8 Spell Shield, but still not so bad. And once he starts getting a rally literally every turn, not just like Garen, where you're getting rallies on the opponent's attack token when you're also getting a rally on your own attack token. That seems really powerful, and if you have a board and you can keep it sturdy, you can keep your things healthy, you are going to close the game. Galio's Shield of Durand feels a little bit underwhelming in your average Demacia deck, but in Formidable it might be good enough, and I think it's a good pairing with Galio as his champion spell, so that synergy is high. Gorlith the Unscalable I think is just too vulnerable. It not only hurts your own Nexus, this feels kind of like Catastrophe to me. It's like, oh, but what if they have nothing? But they're probably going to have something. Yes, in like 3 or 4 out of 10 games, the opponent will just be in a region combination that can't deal with this very well. But also, once you drop Gorlith, I feel like it's a little bit more of a win more card anyway. You're trying to win by going wide and by buffing up the health of your board with Galio, so you don't really need this huge swing. It might have some... Yeah, it doesn't even work with Atrocity, right? Because Formidable never updates your power, it just strikes with your health. So Atrocity on a unit like this will literally just deal 0. I already talked about Durand Protege in the other video. I think that she is pretty decent, not amazing. I think that Petricite Broadwing is crazy good as a 2-mana 3/3, not only when you're attacking, when you're challenging something, but also when you're blocking. Again, I think I got that wrong before. Petricite Hound feels a little bit underwhelming, just weaker than something like Cythria of Cloudfield, unless you can actually buff the health, and yes, that is going to be happening, but let's see, do you want a 1-drop to look like this? 1-drops generally are things that want to go unsupported, so for this to be good, you need to plan to buff it on future rounds with something like Shield of Durand, Galio, Durand Protege. Maybe that's good enough, but this card feels like it has a pretty low floor, if I'm using that correctly. At its base level, it's a little unimpressive. Mountain Drake feels pretty strong and pretty splashable. You could potentially run Mountain Drake in Shyvana decks with a 5-mana 6/6 plus Fury stat line, and Fury is effectively giving you +2/+2. I feel like that's okay. It's probably a little bit worse than something like Screeching Dragon, but if you're giving this, if the goal is to give this Overwhelm with something like Zenith Blade or Dragon's Clutch, then just the huge power might be enough. And Winds of War feels a little bit redundant if you're trying to build a Targon Demacia deck. I keep going back to that because that's the first thing I considered. I don't know if anyone else is thinking about Galio, Soraka, but if you're not playing in Targon, this might be good enough, but it is way less flexible than single combat. Being slow speed definitely hurts the card. Alright, yeah, that'll do it. I hope y'all enjoyed those cards, and I will see you back here next time. If you'd like to see me react to some more cards, go ahead and leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Alright, thanks for sticking around, and I will see y'all tomorrow.